So at number 10 for me, it is Furius Baco, located at Port Ventura World. This is located in the Mediterranean themed area of the park, and it opened in 2007. It is a wing rider from Intamin, and it definitely packs a punch. 0 to 135 kilometers an hour in about 3 to 4 seconds. The launch is absolutely incredible. Obviously, it's a standard cable launch. It's found on other Intamin accelerators such as Stealth and Rita. And the pre-show is very good, quite short, and then just in a minute you'll see it launch. You'll definitely see my face is very exhilarated. It's quite a rough coaster, but I was on the inside there, so it wasn't too bad. But because the profiling of the actual ride, you sat above the track rather than to the side of it, so it does pick up vibrations very easily. It features one inversion as showed in the POV here, and it goes over the water. That is my favourite element of the ride, over the water. Right, a great coaster. Now let's go to number 9.
Wow. Oh, amazing.
At number 9 for me, it is Soar the Ride, the Gerstlauer Eurofighter at Thorpe Park. I believe that Soar was the last Eurofighter to be put into the UK, so since 2009 it would be good to have one put in a park, ideally like Westminster Safari Park, my local park. But my reasons for loving the Soar ride is just the pre-show, the whole experience, the theming, and also there I find it a really smooth and enjoyable ride experience. But it is quite controversial, similar to rides such as the Smiler or any other Gerstlauer. But overall it is a very good ride. I would say it's quite family friendly, as it isn't a very isn't the most thrilling ride, but it does pack a punch, and it's definitely what I'd recommend as a first coaster. So yeah, absolutely outstanding. Let's go.
Enjoy it? Let's go.
In at number 8 for me, it is Xpress Platform 13 at Wallaby Holland. On the back row, manufactured by Wickerman. It's a Vekoma LSM coaster, obviously powered by the LSM systems. Absolutely beautiful coaster. It's quite similar to Rock and Rollercoaster at Disneyland, as it is pretty much the same layout. There's a few differences, but the main difference is Rock and Rollercoaster is indoors. Express 55 miles per hour launch. Quite a gradual launch, as it is powered by the LSMs, and it's not quite as snappy as a cable launch, but you do definitely feel it, especially towards the end of the launch as you enter the first inversion. 3 inversions on the coaster, not too much, quite a slow launch, but the lights in the launch tunnel make it feel so much better, and it is just a very enjoyable and smooth ride experience. It doesn't have to be the most intense, it's just a very enjoyable experience, and I haven't heard one negative review. I would say it's quite family friendly. I would recommend it as a first coaster, as I said about Soar the Ride previously. I do find it very enjoyable, and the best thing is, towards the end of the ride, as shown here, there is a little bit of fuego, which is fire, as you just saw there. Great effects, beautiful ride. Now let's go to number 7.
You better love it, it's Express.
In at number 7 for me, it is Goliath, the Intamin Mega Coaster located at Wallaby Holland. Now, Wallaby Holland was where Platform 13 was featured, and it was known as the Six Flags Park, hence the name Goliath. That's been featured in many Six Flags parks. It's an Intamin wing rider. It's a Intamin Mega Coaster. So it does feature a typical Intamin clip fix, as you just saw there. I was very happy over that airtime hill. It features so much floaty airtime. It's definitely a back row coaster. So many people say that Intamin Mega Coasters are front row coasters, such as many feedbacks about Millennium Force and Expedition G-Force, but I think Goliath is definitely a back row coaster, as it features more floaty airtime than like the ejector airtime. My favourite part of the coaster has to be the bunny hills towards the end of the ride, but the first drop is definitely insane. Right, a very good coaster. Now let's go to number 6.
Let's have a good ride.
In at number 6 for me, it is the ride I've got a lot of history with. It is the Smiler, the Gerstlauer Infinity Coaster, located in X Sector at the Alton Towers Resort. Smiler, to this day, I have had 357 rides on it. It is a brilliant coaster. It features 2 lift hills, a standard sort of Eurofighter vertical lift hill, and just your normal, like, 45-degree angle lift hill. Not quite sure what they're actually called, just your standard incline. Obviously, 14 inversions, it's still the world beater, and I don't think that will be beaten for a long time, to be honest. The Smiler isn't the smoothest of rides, but it is definitely a very enjoyable ride experience. Personally, I prefer the second section due to that's when I feel like the ride is properly warmed up, but don't get me wrong, the first section is very good. Now, I do have one criticism to the ride. I do think that they could add a bit more of a pre-show telling you about the Ministry of Joy, due to that being the Smiler's sort of background. It's all about this government organisation that's about correcting society, using their forces and like torture of hypnosis to get you, so that's where the marmalising theme comes into it. It's a very clever theme. I just think that they could add a pre-show to make it a lot better. So, being a controversial coaster as it is, I believe that would add a lot to it. Right, now let's get to number 5. In at number 5 for me, it is Wickerman. The GCI wooden coaster has just opened at the Alton Towers Resort. Now, Wickerman was known as SW8 and it opened on the 24th of March 2018. It is a brilliant GCI wooden coaster. It's a 1.2, so it's a family coaster, but it definitely packs a punch. As you can see there, it's going very fast around the track. Absolutely beautiful coaster. And as you go through the Wickerman's chest, all sorts of smoke effects. Usually there are fire effects on that day where that footage was taken. There wasn't any fire effects, unfortunately. They do seem to be quite unreliable, but hopefully that's something that will just be teething problems, so they should be able to sort it out quite quickly. The best bit of Wickerman, I think, is the whole theming and the pre-show. It's definitely a sort of cosmetic coaster rather than a ride coaster. Right, let's go to number 4. In at number 4 for me, it is Anubis the ride, located at Plopsaland Japan in Belgium. Now, Plopsaland is home to many good rides, such as the GCI wooden coaster known as Heidi, but especially Anubis. Now, Anubis has a LSM launch, a very fast and snappy launch as well. You really feel that. LSMs are normally quite gradual, but Anubis definitely isn't. It goes straight into a top hat, and then goes into its first inversion. 3 inversions on that ride, and you definitely can feel them. Your typical Gerstlauer restraints as featured on the Infinities and the Eurofighters. Saying that though, those restraints are dying out. There's more and more lap bars creeping in, and hopefully that'll be something that might be replaced on rides such as Saw and maybe even Anubis, because I think that would really enhance the ride. Brilliant ride experience, and I definitely recommend it.
Brilliant.
Right,
That
let's
is
go
amazing.
on to number 3.
Oh, my hair's probably gone all mad, but wow, guys. Wow, 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 wow. Let's go.
Now, this ride, Icon, has just opened, and it's a ride I've only ridden once, and I'm going back at some point in the next couple of weeks. I'll be filming a vlog, and I'll get on-ride footage. But so far, I haven't been able to get any on-ride footage of me. I wanted to get some for this video, but I just had to make this top 10 video, just to say, quite briefly, what my top 10 are. Now, Icon has 2 LSM launches, and it is a MatMeg coaster. It's the first MatMeg coaster to open in the UK, and I think it's going to be a first of many to open in the UK. I think Ireland could do with something a bit more in terms of their theme parks. I think a nice MatMeg coaster located at Tato Park to join the Cougar Lane coaster would really work well. But Icon, it has quite a soft theme linked to Japanese mountains and gold. You know, it's really, really nice theme. And the profiling and the landscaping of the coaster is absolutely brilliant. Now, one thing I've noticed with Mack, they do seem to be quite similar to Gerstlauer. Like, they've got such a small amount of space to play with, and they can fit such an iconic, little pun there, and beautiful coaster in there. Now, the landscaping of the coaster, generally speaking, wouldn't be the best, but because it has, I think it has something like 30 interactions with coasters in the park. I might be wrong on that. It's either 30 or 15. They're both multiples of 15, so I'm not really sure. but it's definitely a lot. And just you see it just going around. There's such a mix of all these coasters, and it works just so well. Three, I think there's two inversions on this coaster, but the highlight of it has to be the second launch, as you'll see going through just now. The second launch features straight into like a sort of top hat element, as shown there. That's where the second inversion is, and that has got to be the highlight of the ride. The hang time on that is absolutely brilliant. Don't get me wrong, the first launch is really quite good. I was expecting it to be quite slow and dreary, but no, really good. Right, number 2. In at number 2 for me, it is Red Force, located at Portaventura, Ferrari Land, and it is an absolutely brilliant coaster. It's an Intamin accelerator coaster. It's a massive top hat, 112 miles per hour, 367 feet, and I'm trying to say this really fast because it's a really short POV. Red Force, an absolutely beautiful coaster. Obviously, you can see me and Mum really enjoyed it. I've had a total of 14 rides in it. Absolutely amazing coaster. Right, let's go. Number 1.
Well done, Mom. Oh, so proud of you for that. Oh, let's go. Again. Hey.
Okay, it's the moment you've all been waiting for. My number 1 is Taron, located at Phantasialand, which is outside of Cologne in Germany. Absolutely beautiful Intamin Blitz coaster. 2 launches. It's quite similar to a Map Meg coaster, but far more superior in my opinion after doing Icon. Now don't get me wrong, Icon is an absolutely stunning ride, but the whole theme around Klugheim, the interactions with Rake and all the buildings, the whole area, absolutely stunning. You can just see in the background, but you do get quite wet if it's a rainy day. Something's dripping, you're guaranteed to get wet on Taron. But the second launch is definitely the highlight of the ride, where you go into the waterfall. Absolutely stunning ride. I would recommend this to families. I'm just trying to think about that. I would recommend it to families, and I'd also recommend it to someone who's scared about going fast, because it maintains pace really well, so you definitely get used to it. I've had a total of 32 rides on Taron, and it's an absolute stunning ride, and hopefully I'll be out there soon riding it very shortly. The airtime on it's great, the re-rideability on it is great, and thank you for joining me for this video, guys, as it is now the end, and hopefully I will see you all soon. Please have a good day, please subscribe, please like, and please comment down below what videos you want to see. Thanks, guys. Please comment down your top 10 as well. Cheers, guys.